Space is beautiful. It's lonely, it's fascinating, it's deadly, it's gorgeous, and it's horrifying. This is what Scavengers Reign is all about. Scavengers Reign is an adult animated science fiction show which was released in October and November of 2023 on HBO Max. It's based off of a short titled Scavengers, which was created for Adult Swim in 2016. The two co-creators of this short went on to make Scavengers Reign, and you can see where a lot of the ideas which made the show came from. The show follows survivors of a badly damaged cargo ship named the Demeter 227. Escape pods carrying the survivors have landed on the nearby planet Vestra. The survivors each work to survive in the hostile alien environment and hopefully make an escape from the planet. What I love about science fiction is the ability for it to be used to explore ideas, specifically about how the world we live in could work. Ursula K. Le Guin, in her book The Left Hand of Darkness, explores the idea of a genderless society and how that influences the way people interact. Isaac Asimov explores the ideas of the end and the beginning of the universe in the short story The Last Question. Science fiction is great at speculating how things could work in the future, the present, and in the past. Something that has interested me, and I'm sure many others who take a liking to space, is the idea of extraterrestrial life, particularly the idea of ecosystems, how they would look and work differently from our own here on Earth. Scavengers Reign explores this question in so much detail. The whole show is focused on the exploration of these new forms of life and how they interact with one another, and the way that survivors interact with this life as well. Going into so much depth to flesh out the ecosystem encountered by the characters is a really excellent use of science fiction. Art is important to converting the thoughts and ideas of someone into something tangible. Space has always been a source for artistic expression through almost every medium. Each person has their own take on space and the cosmos. In Gustav Holst's orchestral suite, The Planets, he journeys to each planet through music. I could talk about this for quite a while, but the way that these planets are brought to life, giving each one a personality, is just beautiful. Mars is loud and angry. Jupiter fun and joyful. And Venus is so quiet and peaceful. The music of Scavengers Reign, however, is tied to only one planet. So much of it is very similar, and then it's some sort of ambient music. There are times when the music ramps up, especially in more intense moments, but for the most part the music is peaceful and quiet. The soundtrack aids in making the feeling of the world. The quietness of being stranded alone is exemplified through the music. I really love the soundtrack. It hasn't been released officially yet, but the composer of the soundtrack, Nicholas Snyder, has said that it could possibly get released in February of 2024. Another medium of art that this show excels at is the visuals. The art style of this show is absolutely beautiful. There are so many breathtaking shots that show the amount of detail that has gone into creating this show. The art brings the world to life, showing the ecosystems and how they work. The creativity that went into the looks of all the different plants and animals that inhabit Vestra is insane. The art style of the show is so versatile, from being able to show all the interesting details of plants, animals, to spacecraft and beautiful stars, and to be able to keep a consistent visual style while going into trippy scenes in the mind of a character. I've seen a lot of people comparing the art style to the work of Jean Jéhu. I hope I pronounced that right. He made art under the pseudonym Mobius. I can see how the makers of the show have been heavily influenced by his style. It really shows how influential his work has been to artists, even those who make art for things other than comic books. The art of Scavengers Reign is some of my favorite artwork I've seen in a TV show. There are so many shots from this show that I wish I could just have as a poster. While everything I've talked about so far has been the beauty of space, space can also be terrifying. Stars shoot out jets of 1,000-degree material, several times the size of Earth relatively frequently. There are planets in our very solar system which are massive and inhospitable to any sort of life. These are two very good videos that cover this topic I would recommend watching. As far as we know, we are very alone in the universe. We have yet to find any type of alien life. Images like the pale blue dot carry this feeling of being alone and insignificant. Some of this type of feeling carries over to Scavengers Reign. The music and visuals really sell this feeling well, with very ambient music and zoomed out shots that show how insignificant the characters in the show are compared to the planet Vestra and the whole universe. A lot of the horror of Scavengers Reign is different in that it comes from nature, not in an over-the-top way where nature is just out to get you, but in a more realistic way where you are ultimately insignificant. You're just another animal. Nature doesn't care about you, and that's where the horror comes from. At any moment, you could get attacked by some animal and end up dying. Nature would continue on without you. It is uncaring to whether you live or die. Add to this the fact that this is an alien planet with plants and animals that are completely foreign to us. We have no idea if something is safe or could kill us. This makes the fear that comes with nature worse. On Earth, we have an idea for what is safe and not, but on Vestra, we have no idea. This is terrifying. Not only is there hardly anyone else to help you, you also have to learn what's dangerous in order to stand a chance at surviving. Scavengers Reign is a great show that I would recommend for everyone to watch. There's so much more in the show that could be talked about that I didn't even touch on. I could talk about all of the characters, speculate on the meaning of different things, and just talk about all the many little details of the show. But I just wanted to put out my love for the show and create something. A lot of other people have made videos about Scavengers Reign that are definitely worth checking out. I hope anyone who watched the show can join in my enthusiasm for it, and that anyone that hasn't watched it yet would please go check it out. Thank you for watching.